You start to go home right after work. Everyone's like sitting there at the
You're like,
bar,
"We're going to the
waiting
bar."
to go out. Like, have fun, guys. Cool. They come in the next day all hungover. I'm over here
Shit.
trying to make some money. Good morning.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go watch House of the Dragons. Good night.
Yeah,
You know,
bro.
like, fuck this shit.
Yeah, I'm over it, bro. So I'm gonna go save my money. Like, I'm gonna go plan some trips. Like, I'm about to take a weekend off. What you doing? Oh, I gotta work. Half of them still live with their parents, you know. Some of them just got accepted into college. I'm like, damn, bro. It's another thing for me too. Like, no disrespect to anybody who still works in the service industry who's older than a certain age, but my thing was like, I know, right? But I didn't want to be one of those people who was like, I used to have people who were like 56 going on 60. Like, I've seen some old, like, been in places for like 40, 50, like 40 years. They just know the ins and outs. It's just easy for them. It's like, I can never do that only because like this is just a quick stop for me.
And welcome back to the other side of the glass. We are here, episode 2. It's your boy Ronnie.
It's your boy Joeezy.
And yeah, man, shit, we made it this far. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, they haven't canceled us yet, and you guys haven't even really watched this yet because our first episode is about to drop soon.
You know what I mean? But yeah, bro. So since the last time, you know what I mean. Granted, like a lot of these episodes, they're gonna be coming out once a month. So by the time y'all hear this, it's gonna be end of August.
Yeah.
But since we last recorded, bro, you just got back from 2 different adventures.
Yeah, no. So I'm pretty sure I didn't go to camp yet. I was in Kentucky, and if I did, that's not important. I just got back from Nashville about not 2 weeks ago, and you just got back from Salt Lake City, right?
Salt Lake City, yep,
Right on. Look at us, some traveling guys,
some travelers out here,
jet setters, international playboys.
Man, come on, holla at us. But
yeah, no. So how that kind of fostered itself was that I had put out a video making a cocktail using Jack Daniels. And the reason I did that was not because I'm a big fan of Jack Daniels, but it's because I wanted to pair it with that Shabuzi song.
Okay.
You know,
I don't know who Shabuzi is.
You don't know this, bro? Come on now. It's like the hottest song in the country, other than Not Like Us.
Okay.
So it goes like, someone pour me up a double shot of whiskey.
Oh, Shabuzi is that country dude, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I know. We do with the dreads?
Yeah. So
okay.
It's possible.
I'm not all the way retarded.
It's not possible. You don't live on a rock. But yeah. So I thought, oh, that's a cool song to make a cocktail video to. I make a Jack Daniels cocktail. I made a Tennessee whiskey smash, and I made the video and posted it. This woman had reached out to me. Shout out Jasmine. She's I guess a brand ambassador for Uncle Nearest Distillery out in Tennessee. And she's like, hey, you know, I saw your video. I wanted to know if you wanted to come out and, you know, visit the Uncle Nearest Distillery. We're doing this whole like, you know, tour thing. We're inviting people in the industry out. We're putting them up in Nashville, and we're doing this whole like tour and 2-day tour thing, whatever this and that. And it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be cool. And she threw some dates at me, and they didn't work out at first because I was just getting back from Mexico, and I was getting ready to go to camp, and it was just too close. The dates were too close.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what, it's not gonna work out. So why don't you? But I'm up to do it another day if it ever happens again. You know, she's like, okay, I'll hit you up. I get back from Kentucky. She's like, hey, I got some new dates, and I'm like, cool, like sign me up. You know, so flew me out. You know, because I'm the fly me out type nigga. Put me up, nice hotel in Nashville, and then, you know, we were able to tour the distillery. You know, they took us to dinner 2 nights in a row. They gave me a $100 Uber credit to Uber,
shit.
you know, like Uber around and stuff like that. So it was hella cool. Nashville.
Damn, so they damn near paid for everything for you.
Damn near. I mean, you know, when we went out drinking and stuff like that, you know, I had to pay for all that stuff. You know, for me, a bartender has to pay for his own drinks. You know, that's always a sad thing. But
fucked up.
But it was cool as hell, man. I met some cool people. Like, you know, learned a lot of history. I don't know if you're familiar with Uncle Nearest at all.
I was just about to get into that because when I was out in Salt Lake, linked up. Shout out to Kelly Casey. She was telling me about Uncle Nearest and about how it's one of the first Black-owned distilleries.
So it is one of the first Black-owned distilleries, but also the history goes with Uncle Nearest is that Uncle Nearest or Nathan Green was the first legal master distiller on record.
Okay.
First black man who was a master distiller on record.
Damn. Okay.
So yeah, which was a big deal, right? And he taught Jack Daniels how to make Tennessee whiskey.
Damn.
Yeah, the father of Tennessee whiskey. He taught him how to make it. And
so he's technically like the grandfather. Then.
He's basically like, they call him the godfather of Tennessee whiskey because he's the one who told. And not to go deep into the history, but I'll give a little quick story about how that goes. Is that Nathan Green, Uncle Nearest, was a slave for the Call family in Tennessee. And the Call family, I forgot the dude's first name, but he was a preacher, and Nathan Green was the distiller. He was making his whiskey. Now before then, everyone was making their own whiskey, but it was all kind of shit whiskey. You know, it wasn't like really well filtered. It's like, you know, well, not the good stuff we know today. He incorporated this method of filtration for the whiskey called the Lincoln County process. And what that is that it's a charcoal filtration system where you filter the whiskey through charcoal, and it filters out all the impurities that were remaining through the distillation process. And people were just bottling and keeping it in. He filtered it through that way. And that filtration method is a method that's passed down and learned in Africa. That's how they kind of filtered their water. So he incorporated that into making their whiskey, and he had the best tasting whiskey all around. Now Jack Daniels comes into the story because he was a little boy. He was like, you know, he needed some work and stuff like that. So he went to go work for the Call family. They put him in a general store. He's like, yeah, man, you know, this ain't it. You know, I'm trying to do something else. What's going on over there? I see that smoke coming over there. What's up over there? Like, oh, that's Nathan Green's over there. He's my distiller. Like, you want to go meet him? Like, yeah. And he saw him doing this thing. He's like, man, I'm trying to be about this.
Damn. Okay,
so he meets him. He teaches him how to do it. And then basically, when he gets of age, he's like, all right, I'm gonna open my own distillery, and I want you to be my master distiller. He's like, yeah, I will. Yeah. And to this day, at the Jack Daniel's distillery, there is the third generation Green family still working for Jack Daniel's. So it's a beautiful story of two families, you know, coming together. And like, you know, it's great that like now Uncle Nearest is gaining popularity. And I wouldn't say that they're competing at all. I think they're like complementary because they both have their story and history. So you can't have one without the other.
So did Uncle Nearest come after Jack Daniels as far as the list
itself? So basically, because Uncle Nearest he just made whiskey.
And Uncle Nearest is Nathan Green.
Nathan Green, yeah. And Uncle Nearest is Nathan Green, the same person. Gotcha. But yeah, he just made the whiskey for the Call's consumption, like the Call family's consumption, and whatever distribution they had. They didn't bottle it and sell it, anything like that. They just kind of drank it and gave it away. Gotcha. Jack Daniels comes along, grows up, and said, like, I'm gonna make my own distillery. I'm gonna sell this shit.
He's not from the Call family.
No, he's not. He was on the area where Jay said, that part's a little fuzzy to me as far as like how he got to know the Call family. But basically, yeah, he's like, I'm gonna start my own shit, and I want you to work for me because you taught me everything, and you make the best fucking whiskey around. He's like, yeah, okay, let's do it. And like, you know, there's pictures and stuff like that of like them next to each other and stuff like that. And basically what happened is like Fawn Weaver comes around. She basically is looking for a story to write a book about. And Fawn Weaver is actually, she runs the Uncle Nearest distillery basically. Then she comes to Tennessee and she's like, you know, looks at all these pictures and stuff like that. And she's like, who's this dude standing next to Jack Daniels? Like, like there's a black dude standing next to him in all these pictures. Yeah. Like he must be someone important, right?
Facts.
You know, like
every single picture.
Yeah. He's like, and then like, you know, just do some digging, went to the library in town and stuff like that. And like in Lynchburg, and they came across records and stuff like that of like a guy named Nathan Green, who was who was documented as like the distiller. Yeah. And like, you know, it's like, wait a minute. So wait, he was like, you know, he's the one who taught how Jack Daniels how to make all this shit.
That's crazy.
And it became this big old story back in 2016. Like it was
so this was found out recently.
Yes.
To the general public.
Yeah. Or 2015. And then like, you know, she's like, okay, well, you know, I want to write this book about this, but also let's make whiskey. Yeah, like, you know, and we can, you know, call Uncle Nearest like using the same process that, you know, they did as close as they can back then. Yeah. And let's do it now.
So the Uncle Nearest whiskey is kind of like paying homage to
basically pretty much. She was able, like, the master distiller for Uncle Nearest is like the third generation granddaughter from Nathan Green. Yeah. She's the master distiller nowadays. And which is cool because she's a woman master distiller. But yeah, no, it's a really cool story, man. Like, you know, and that's like wild. Especially like, you know, if you're someone who is familiar with Jack Daniels, who loves Jack Daniels, and, you know, was actually maybe even been on the tour to Jack Daniels, this is like, you kind of got to do both because they both like, it's like another part of the story.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
It's interesting. We went to the gravesite of Nathan Green, and then like right over like, and it was like it was in a different separate area because that's where they buried the black people at the time.
Got you.
But across the way is like Jack Daniels is buried where
where all the white people
are. Basically. So it's a trip.
That's wild.
Piece of like Tennessee history I got to like be a part of, or I got to learn about.
Yeah, that's crazy. So Uncle Nearest is essentially the original Jack Daniels recipe, damn near.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
They like to me, Uncle Nearest tastes much more smoother. So they're doing something different than of course, Jack Daniels has had many master distillers over the years. It's been around for so long that they don't taste the same. They're not.
A lot of people have had their hands in that process.
Right. Then they've modified the process, the barrel aging process, and stuff like that to get what we taste today.
Yeah.
So very similar ways of making the whiskey, but obviously different products and different outcomes of how it is today.
I feel that.
Yeah,
that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, it's cool as hell, man. And downtown Nashville is tight.
Hey, bro, I heard like Nashville is like the spot, like how Vegas is for dudes.
It is.
I heard Nashville is for that for women.
It is actually like Broadway. I mean, it's a tourist trap now. Like there's bars like fucking all up and down Broadway, even outside of there too. The prices are all jacked up.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go off the path, you can get some affordable drinks and stuff like that. But right on the strip,
it's all Cali prices.
Cali prices are like damn near almost Cali prices. I wouldn't say Vegas prices. But Cali prices for sure, man.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but it's hella cool though. We were there like on a Monday and Tuesday night.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me the difference between that night and a Saturday night. I mean, obviously a Saturday night would be much different, but it felt like a weekend.
Damn. Okay.
It was it was cool as hell.
That's wild, bro. Complete opposite experience I had in fucking Salt Lake City.
So tell me about Salt Lake City.
Man, hey, honestly, it's a cool ass spot, bro. Very family friendly type area, you know what I mean? I'm not going to Salt Lake with the homies.
Yeah.
But like when my mom and my dad, it was
so
cool.
It's not like bachelor party.
Nah.
Salt Lake City.
Fuck no, bro. But it's one of those, it's a very wholesome place, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Even at nighttime you walk around, you're like,
right.
You feel safe.
So you were there with your parents?
Yeah.
I mean, so that's kind of cool, right? It's not like, you have to be worried about going to certain areas of Salt Lake City or anything like that.
I mean, I will say this though, bro. Salt Lake, I mean, like any city, you know what I mean? They got their crackheads, they got their problems and all that, homeless and all that, you know what I mean? But just in general, the vibe that a lot of people gave walking around was super cool, super friendly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super outdoorsy place, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the vibe I got from Nashville too. The people were very nice.
Yeah.
There wasn't, and people kind of think that you visit places in the South and then you're gonna run into every motherfucking white person's racist and stuff. But not saying that doesn't happen, but by and large, everyone I ran into or encountered was very, very hospitable, very, friendly, willing to give recommendations on what's cool and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean that's the impression that I got. That's the experience that I had.
Yeah.
I feel like you're telling me you had kind of a similar one.
Similar, yeah. I mean, but that's just for that. When you throwing the entire bar scene out there, threw me the fuck off.
Yeah,
bro.
no, you were mentioning a little bit of that to me earlier.
Yeah, a little bit off air. I was talking about recipes. That shit threw me off, bro.
You said everything you know.
Throw it out the fucking window, bro. Dead ass. Every cocktail recipe, you got to remodify it to Utah laws because it is a Mormon state, even though technically separation of church and states, but everything's run by the Mormons out there. You know what I mean?
They're like the mafia out there.
Damn near, bro.
Everything.
Damn near. But yeah, man. So it's one of those they got a law where it's just that you can't have more than 1.1 or 1.5 ounces of a base spirit
in a drink.
In a drink. So obviously you got something like an old fashioned that calls
or Long Island.
Ain't no Long Island out there.
No Long Islands?
I mean, they probably got their version of it, but
I mean, thank God they're no Long Islands out there.
But it's one of those so you can only have a certain amount.
So wait, okay, yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'll ask the questions after because I got a lot of questions.
So you can have a certain amount of the base spirit, meaning okay, with an old fashioned, you can only have up to an ounce or an ounce and a half of the whiskey. Then the remaining of how you normally make an old fashioned has to be a mixed liqueur type flavored liqueur. So
when you say mixed liqueur, are we talking a low ABV type?
It has to be
a below 30% or something.
I think it has to be again, I could be completely butchering this, but I'm pretty sure it has to be around 25 to 30.
Okay,
something like that.
low. Let's just call it low ABV.
Super, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then on top of that, if you go and just, you know what I mean, if you order, you can't get doubles out there. You know what I mean?
So let me get a double Jameson. Nope.
Nah, it's always and
One
they're
shot.
yeah, one shot. And their shots at max cap off at 1.5, but most places give only 1 ounce pours.
And why do they do that, Ronnie?
It's Mormons.
How do you? How do some places ensure that you only cap off with the pour?
Oh, bro.
Is what I'm saying.
So if y'all ever been to a bar, you'll see, you know, we got pour spouts on top of the bottles. Boom, you pour it out, the liquor comes out, right? So they have a special type of pour spout where you put it on, and if you try to pour out, nothing pours out. But they got a machine that attaches to the bar that you got to attach on top of your bottle, that when you pour it, it'll measure out the 1.5 ounce. You know what I mean? And you have to do that for every single bottle that you're, you know what I mean? And then at the end of the night, the amount that you sold has to match the amount of clicks on the actual thing, and you got to report that in. They're like super strict about that.
They're like, all right, give me your checkout. When money matches up, now give me your pour spout.
Which is crazy, bro. Like,
oh my
I got to turn in my clicks at the end of the night.
Yeah, let me see your clicks.
Like, then on top of that, fucking, I was telling you, like, they got to lock up the liquor. You know what I mean? After, I think it's 1 o'clock, by 1 o'clock, all the liquor has to be locked up. So if you go to a bar and you see like bottles up on the back bar, how a lot of bars, you know what I mean, they have the displays.
Yeah.
If they don't have like a vinyl or a cage that can come over it at the end of the night, you have to remove every single bottle, put it in a liquor cage, lock it up. And then next morning when you set up, you got to move all that shit back up.
Man, my lazy ass would be like to the point where it's like, I'm not bringing this shit out. No one buys this shit. You see like only a shelf
5 bottles
full of things that I know I'm going to sell. Like, I'm not bringing out the bottle of fucking, you know,
Hibiki Harmony.
Yeah, I'm not bringing the Galliano out. I'm not bringing
me?
the fucking, you know, just shit that I know no one's gonna touch.
Patty Van Winkle. Just don't want to fucking.
Yeah.
People can sit there and be like, oh, I saw a
X-ray
bottle of
the
that
X-ray
one time.
liqueur, I'm gonna leave in the thing, bro. I'm not bringing that out. Hypnotic can stay in there, dog. No one's gonna fucking order that shit. Or certain nights I'm like, oh, who's coming tonight? Okay.
Let's put the Hypnotic back
more
up.
Hennessy up. You know, like the Douce. That's a trip.
Yeah, man. So it was one of those like, and then on top of that, they got a lot of apparently they got a lot of soda bars out there because I guess coffee shops aren't as popular because Mormons don't drink coffee because they don't really consume things that alter your mind, and caffeine alters your mind. So
that's a trip,
bro. Like it's wild, man. So then they'll have soda bars where then you kind of think about it. It's just like, would you consider that a bartender?
Wait, a soda jerk? No, bro. Like, no, like you're just pouring. No, it's not a bartender. It's not bartending.
You know what I mean?
It isn't, because like it's the same thing. Like, and then someone asked me this the other day. They ordered they came in. They didn't drink, and they wanted an NA beverage, NA cocktail.
Make me something without liquor,
right? You know, and I mean, you know, for whatever reason people don't drink, you don't drink, you know, right now. So it's nice to have that kind of stuff available, and my bar just doesn't really have that kind of stuff. Yeah. But it begs the question, like, what makes an NA cocktail? Like, is it a cocktail, or am I just putting juices together at this point? You know?
Now I get what you're talking about, because like before I like, you know, I went on this hiatus and not drinking. My interpretation, if somebody asks an NA cocktail, first off, I'm getting pissed. I don't know why. Like, my first reaction is like, here go this guy.
Well, when you don't have a menu or a program set up that you know what to call for or what's available, now you're asking me to like be creative on something that has no alcohol in it, and that's just, it's a lot of mental exercising to do right now.
But it's one of those things now, if you like if you granted, if you don't have a non-alcoholic spirit, which at that point, like, I mean, even to this day, like, I'm starting to learn like the different, you know what I mean, notes that come out of different like non-alcoholic spirits and bringing them out. Mm-hmm. But that's also because, like, you know, we have a bottle or two around, and then we're trying, you know what I mean? When you don't have that, we're trying to make something out of syrups. And
that's what I'm saying. So it's like, okay, cranberry juice, pineapple juice, and
a little bit of honey,
like, you know. But then is that a I don't like using the word mocktail. Is that an NA cocktail though? It's just juice with the syrups in it. But would that warrant the name of an NA cocktail? Nowadays, we're very lucky and fortunate to have a wide array of NA spirits. Yeah. That you can have a non-alcoholic Negroni. Yeah. Believe it or not, because there's you get like
NA gin,
sweet NA sweet vermouth, and NA Campari or NA bitters.
But you know what's crazy with that though? It still comes back to the same thing what you was talking about, like. at the end of the day, that's essentially juice and spices.
Well, right, but I think that's a little different because it's emulating a flavor that emulates a cocktail. So it makes it a real NA, non-alcoholic cocktail. Not you can't have NA juice. I mean, just because if you add alcohol to juice, that's gonna be a cocktail. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird it's a fine line, and it's a weird area that, you know, us as bartenders are continuously navigating through.
And I feel like it's more so recently that this surge of like NA cocktails have kind of came about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
People are not drinking as much, or people are more conscious of, you know, either taking breaks, their health, and, you know, any reason to, like, you know, I'd say, and offering at least NA beers or NA ready to drinks is a necessity for any bar. Yeah,
at least have 1 or 2 NA beers.
Because there's always somebody.
But here, going back to, like, you know what I mean, the whole process of now making that NA cocktail, you can't be mad if they're priced maybe just $1 or $2 cheaper than a regular cocktail, because I'm still putting the same amount of effort into making the drink.
And they're not, it's not like they're cheaper. Like, I mean, it's not like, you know, a bunch of costs for a case of, like, so I wasn't drinking for the first part of this year for 3 months. And so I was getting invited to, like, you know, watch games at people's houses and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, bring your own shit. You know, if you ain't gonna drink, because I don't expect them to provide shit. So I'd, you know, go to, you know, Total Wine, whatever, pick up my own beers and stuff like that and bring them. That shit almost costs the same, bro. Yeah, like, for sure. A 6-pack of beers for, like, NA, like,
still $10.
It's still like, it may be $2 cheaper, but it's still. I'm like, wait a minute, what? Like, why? It's so. Us as bars, we're not getting discounts for, like, you know, we buy a case of Heineken Zeros. Yeah, it's still going to be close to a case of Heineken. Yeah, so you have to sell it for this the same price.
For the same price, yeah. Not fast.
And another thing too, when I also drink, I bought a bottle of an NA spirit bottle, because at the end of the night when everyone's taking shots, I can, you know, participate and take a shot. I bought I bought the Pathfinder, and I was drinking that for a while. I've never had that. No, it just tastes like fucking, you know, fancy Coke. Yeah, fancy Coca-Cola. But
to differentiate.
I was drinking, you know, I was drinking that. Man, that bottle costs like $45.
And you got to think, bro, because it's gonna cost more. Because one, they still still
have to make it.
You feel me? And they're not selling as much as
so basically, what we're saying is, like, from our end and the people that make it, is like the work is still
the same,
done to make it.
Yeah,
you know, just because you're not getting drunk don't mean it costs less.
Yeah.
Because, you know,
people got that idea of, like, well,
it's still something you're consuming.
I'm not getting drunk, so why am I paying? It's like,
that's not you're consuming this. So that's
Facts.
Yeah, exactly.
Facts.
But it also actually helps you realize that, you know, what else you're paying for when you go out.
Yeah.
Like, when you go out and, you know, you buy a cocktail and you're paying XYZ, like, you know, yeah, it's cheaper. It's cheaper at home. I always say the best drink is in the one at your house, bro.
Yeah.
When everyone wants to complain about the price, I'm like, hey, the best drink is at your house, man. Like, you know, it's always cheaper to drink at home. But
clearly the ladies ain't over
what you're paying for, you're paying for the environment, you're paying for the the people that are there, the entertainment, the interaction.
You're paying for the setting, bro.
Exactly. So that's you know, that I think that, you know, that is kind of a reminder when I think of, like, you know, paying for an NA drink is like, wait, I'm not getting drunk. Oh, you know, like, I'm out
for the experience,
you know, things like that.
And we back, you know, second guest. Go ahead and let this man introduce himself.
What's up, everybody? I go by Brother Wilson, aka Kundalini. Thank you guys for having me on.
Hell yeah, man. Honestly, bro, like, you know, you've been in the service industry for a minute, you feel me? And it's like, this is a bartending type podcast, but you have been a bartender for a little bit. But I know you never enjoyed being a bartender.
Yeah. You know what's funny is that I've always, like, I've done both, and they're people that, like, who have done both, and they're like, nah, man, I can't bartend. I hate that shit. Like, it's very different. Like, me, I hated serving because I just didn't like waiting on people. Yeah. You know? Yeah. A lot of people don't like bartending because it's like, nah, I don't want to be looked at all day. Like, I want to move and walk away from. I want to serve you and then walk away from you. Like,
yeah, I feel I don't like sharing tips.
Bring that closer.
I don't like sharing tips.
Type shit.
I for sure think I have a better chance of, like, having my personality shown while I'm talking to tables. I get a little bit more time as opposed to, like, let me just take your order and bounce on to the next one, just constantly keep moving. And I just mastered my craft, if that makes sense. It's just smooth for me. It's just easy money. Just just it's easier for me. It's just too much of a headache for
How
the
long?
bartending.
How long did you bartend?
Bartend probably just for like a year. And Buffalo Wild Wings is probably like the worst place to do it at.
Man.
They have like 20 drinks that are their own signature drinks that are constantly just changing all the time. So on top of learning regular bar drinks, you got to learn all these extra drinks.
Right. Are they like tiki style, meaning like 6, 7 plus ingredients type shit?
Yeah, exactly.
It's a bunch of juice and booze, bro. And the only,
sugar.
I just drink, and most people just drink beer when they go there anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel that. Was it tips not like it as a bartender out there?
Tips was cool, but you're splitting it between 3-4 people.
Yeah.
It's just like a regular bar. You get tipped out too, but you know.
Buffalo Wild Wings was?
Yeah.
You split the tips between bartenders?
Mm-hmm. Like someone's doing the tables, the other one's do it working the well. You know what I mean? So you just split it, tip out the bar backs and everything. Then you get tipped out by every server based on your bar sales. So, you know.
Was that like what just turned you away? Like the actual art of bartending never really intrigued you?
Bartending always seemed cool. I like the idea of like being able to know how to make drinks when I came home to make it for myself or make it for the friends or the homies. But overall, it was just too stressful, especially with like people being drunk. Yeah. I don't like drunk people. And especially in my younger days, I'm matching your energy. So I'm legit about to get fired or something bad's going to happen. And at the time, I just had a real bad drinking problem. There was no way I could just pour this shot without taking a shot. Like, there's no way.
You drop that shit like, cheers, motherfucker.
I had tables buy, even as serving, like, there'll be times tables will buy me a shot, and I'll just, like, take a shot, you know? But,
it's all,
you know,
a kid's cup.
Every time.
Why are these servers drinking the kids' cups, bro? Like,
shout out the Big L's days, bro.
Oh, my God, bro.
But, yeah, man, I mean, shit, just within the service industry in general, bro, like, give me like your top 3 pet peeves when you're dealing with customers.
Pet peeves?
Yeah.
I mean, I think this one's a given for anybody. It's shit when you bring something to the table and they ask for something again and you go grab it, you come back and they ask for something else.
String ordering.
Like,
string ordering. Yeah, no, so
like
that's like my biggest thing right now. And I don't know why it's right now. It's always been happening for me, but it's to the point where now I'm like always like, now I'm over here, they tell me their drink and I'm like, and that's it before I walk away? Like, because I might come back. Don't be hitting me with nothing else.
Exactly,
like, don't be hitting me with the same thing. Like 2 of them now. Like, motherfucker, I could have made 2 at the same time.
For sure.
Yeah. Especially, and in your case, I'm just walking like right over here. You're like all the way to the kitchen.
All back and forth,
And like, wait a minute. Like,
I think another thing is always when they ask for the check and then you bring the check and right when you hand them the check, they just hand you the card. And it's like, bro, you could have just handed me the card because if you're not even gonna check the check, you could have just handed me the card.
Check the check.
I could have just did that instead of grabbing the check, coming back. You're like, here, just take the card. It's like, all right, come on.
I do that. I mean, I do that. I do that now. As far as like, if I'm not gonna look at the check and I don't care like that, I'm gonna drop the card.
Like,
I'm like, hey, can you go and just like close me out or just shut this down or whatever?
Yeah.
And I give them the card because I mean. You know, I'm not gonna fucking make them do the thing twice.
Yeah.
You know?
Go back to print it out to just throw that piece away because you're gonna run
exactly.
it again.
And I think the last and final thing is everybody's pet peeve. It's just rude for no reason. Like I'm here doing you a service. Like I'm here to provide service for you. Get it? You have bad days, but you chose to come out and dine in or eat or drink wherever you're at. I just think being rude to whoever you're getting customer service from is just horrible. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way about it because I don't care if you tip me good. You just made this whole
best drink is at your house.
Bad.
The best meal is at home. Bro. Go do that.
Yeah,
go do that.
But if you do go out, tip your servers, especially in California. We live off of that shit.
Hey, now let me ask y'all this. You brought up a good point. The whole tipping, right? You feel like tipping culture has kind of gotten out of pocket as far as like other places.
Other places, like I feel like if you're not doing work, like if you go to a restaurant. If it's bad service, I totally get it. Don't tip. Mm-hmm. I feel like if the service is provided and it's good, I think you should tip decent amount. Like you should 18% always. You know?
Because you have to also consider that this the server's tipping out other staff members too. That that
18% you gave him, he's only getting like 12 of it.
Right. Exactly. I got to tip my busser. I got to tip food runner. In some cases, the host and stuff like that. A lot of hands that go in this pocket.
Yeah.
Regardless of how much I'm walking away with, I still got to come in the pocket for it. So. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to consider, taking care of every person if they have bad service.
For sure.
However, I feel like that's not always the case.
Yeah.
I feel like it's more often that, people get decent service or even impeccable service and they're just not getting tipped at all.
Yeah.
It's like, so, what's going on?
Yeah. I also feel if I go to a place where I'm standing in front of a counter and I order something and you turn around and you grab it and you hand it to me, I'll leave you $1 or $2 because you're still working, but I spent $50 right there. I'm not leaving you 18% based off of you just turning around.
Man, the game's all fucked up right now.
See, and that's what I meant.
Tip fatigue.
Tip fatigue.
I think I don't know if that's a real thing. I'm calling it tip fatigue. I think people are just really tired of tipping every damn person. That when it finally comes back to us, they're giving us the same energy.
Yeah.
It's like, why I'm tipping fucking.
Because it's one of those like, bro, like, because it really got me thinking when I was out in Utah, right? I ended up they had this little nacho truck during this. I got you.
I was doing the fidget.
But nah, so when I was in Utah during the 4th of July little event that they had like this little taco truck, this little nacho truck or whatnot, right? And boom, she made it. I give her my card. She's like, I just need you to answer a few questions. Now when I get that fucking answer, I'm like, you want me to
flip that screen, and you answer a few questions. It's one question.
But my whole thing is like, in a situation like that, I'm like, I don't know why I got to tip you 15, 18, 20% when you're already making a huge profit off of your own food.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
At a restaurant, it's one of those, like, this ain't my food. This is not my company.
I'm living off of my tips. Yeah. You're making money based off the business. Now, if the owner was sitting there serving tables, that's why site managers on salary don't get tips because they're making the money from the company. I'm not getting money from the company. If you see my paychecks with the hours that I work, you know why I live off my tips. My paychecks come out to $100 and some every 2 weeks, and I'm working a shit ton of hours.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just not sustainable.
Tip fatigue is true, bro, because then even like kiosks and
stuff. I only say that because based off my experience, I get tired of tipping motherfuckers. Yeah. And it's like, I'm a bartender. I'll gladly tip for service. Yeah. Not even great service. I'll tip for great service. I tip for bad service.
Yeah, I do too.
I'll
do bare minimum for bad
but that's
service.
on me.
Yeah.
And I that's what I do. I'm not saying people need to be tipping all the damn time. I tip.
That's because you're in the industry. I do that every time. Yeah.
You in the industry.
Like, you're a sucky ass server, but you're paying your rent,
I've had terrible experiences, and I'm still tipping.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's just how I'm built. But
you go to food courts,
but I am tired of tipping, bro. Like, I mean, as far as like every turn I go to, I'm tipping. Like in the weirdest places, bro. It's funny because you see memes and stuff like that. Like, it was a meme where it's like, motherfucker got pulled over by the cops. He gives him a ticket. He's like, all right, let me just ask a few questions. Like, what?
Well, I think the tipping culture got a lot worse. I've been in the restaurant industry for like over 10 years now, probably 12 years now. So there's been times where I remember I would get shitty. Like, it was just always weird. But I feel like where I'm at right now in my life, I've made the most money I've ever made working at a restaurant. Yeah. And that's just based off of like how I'm seeing things now, the service that I'm providing, being able to look past the ignorance, being able to understand how to move, like just to operate. Other jobs I worked at, I got fucked over on a lot of checks where I was just getting $5 tips on $200 checks. And I used to wonder why. It's like either the place you're at, your surroundings, you can blame it on the people, you can blame it on your service, but just the way that you move, I feel overall, I'm not doing it for a tip. You know I'm not doing it. I feel like they can sense the energy. I'm not doing it for a tip. Granted, yeah, I'm trying to make my money, but I'm not moving in a way where it's like, oh yeah, give me my money. You know what I mean? So over time, I feel like now it's gotten to the point where it's like people don't even go out if they're not going to tip. Yeah. Like, I feel like people have realized that. People have realized they're just going to DoorDash, pick up food.
And especially when considering, just shit's expensive now. Yeah. So if like, let's say that even if I want to tip, bro, my bill's going to be high as hell. Yeah. So can I even afford to pay for the food? Or pay for the check? Let alone the tip. Yeah. I consider that going out noon.
But even that too, think about going out with like 8 to 10 people. Even if there's not gratuity added, you just take $5 from each person. That's perfect. I'm not asking one person to put $40-$50 down, but if each person throws in an extra $5, that makes it. Because what they don't understand is at the end of the night too, the servers have to tip out the bussers, the food runners, and the bartenders based off of their sales. So if I get a high ticket where it's like $300-$400 tab and I'm getting a $10 tip,
it's coming out of your
pocket. It's coming out of my pocket now to where I'm not walking out with that $10 you gave me. That $10 just got put away along with my other tips. Yeah. So it's not going based off of like how much tips you made. It's really going based off of your sales.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
would you say like, I mean, you were saying like right now where you at, you making a lot compared to other places. Would you say it's just because of the location or your mindset?
Location and mindset. Santana Row is nice. I'm also sober these days. It's the first job I worked where I ain't had a drunk shift. Yeah. I be rocking and rolling. I'm drunk. I forgot the ranch. I forgot this order. Putting it in wrong. Like,
I'll tell you right now, serving blacked out or serving drunk is like a fucking. It could be like like a ride, like an experience, bro. There's a lot of things that it's very euphoric, but you're just kind of just going, bro.
It kind of gets to a point where you're kind of like, yo, I'm too fucked up to do this.
I look back at like in those kind of like situations, and I'm just thinking like, man, like. That table noticed.
Yeah, but like, oh, they know.
They knew.
The amount of time
some don't. But then some do.
I mean, bro, all it is
They
a combo.
know.
Because I remember, you know what I mean?
Like, did he go home with that guilt? Like, I didn't give them their ranch. They asked 3 times.
I mean, bro, 'cause I remember,
and they still tipped me.
the worst situation
Not a more shitty feeling than that.
The worst situation I had over at fucking Spag, like my last night working there, you know what I mean? I'm fucked up. I'm damn near blacked out type shit, you know what I mean? And my last table, you know, fucking, they gave me their card to close out or whatnot, and boom, I end up losing their card. You feel me?
Bro,
whole time the card is in my back pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So now me explaining myself in the situation, trying to figure things out, they're like, wait a minute, this dude's drunk. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, fast forward, it's 3 a.m. I'm waking up in bed, full attire, like,
Bro.
what the fuck
Lights on.
Checking my tip book, my manager wrote, like, come collect your tips tomorrow.
Ain't nothing worse than having that anxious feeling the next day, walking in knowing that you made a fool out of yourself.
Yeah.
Your coworkers and managers, bro.
I mean, if you got good coworkers, and I've been on both ends of this, like, you know, what's gonna happen is that they just gotta pick. They're gonna have to carry you.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have to like look over your tables. They're gonna have to help you or not do your checkout for you and get you out of there. Hopefully before management notices.
Yeah.
But like, and then you got to come out the next day with that embarrassment. I'm like, hey, big dog, I'm sorry. Bro. Like, you know, and as long as it doesn't happen constantly, it's okay sometimes.
Yeah.
For sure.
We all been there. But man,
that losing the card shit multiple times. And then I open up a different checkbook and it's right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, I just spent the last 10 minutes having the craziest anxiety attack of like, I'm just about to just leave. Like, I'm going to just say, fuck it.
Yeah,
and
like,
quit,
I mean,
bro.
Yeah,
like,
I guess
I'm going to get fired. Like, I'm done, bro. Yeah. You go to the bathroom, getting ready to walk out. You're like, oh, shit. I'm saved.
Wait,
and here's your check. And let me grab these straws and let me get back to reality. Like,
brush your shoulders up. We good.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Yeah. So this is the first job where I've actually been sober. So I'm able to just do a great job. I get out, I get in, I get out. I provide excellent service. I've always been a great server, but with the mindset I have now and just how I am as a people person, it's just smooth gliding. This is gliding. Like it's easy, like just easy work for me.
How much does having a solid management team or a solid manager help you in your success making money as a server?
Oh, for sure, dude. Weak management team, weak tips. You're not, yes, you got to have your management be able to like, because I also, when I was in the restaurant industry, I was a manager for 3-4 years.
Right.
So I get my skills to where it's like, I'm constantly doing table checks. I'm constantly checking on the host. I'm making
your
sure.
Your job is to be support.
I'm making sure everything is going well to get them the most money that they can.
Thank you.
So at the end of the day, you need to have a good management team. So, and my management team is pretty good at Cheesecake Factory.
You know, like you've been in this industry a long time. I've been in this industry a long time as far as like, you know, being on both sides of serving and managing. And I think being a server helps you be a better manager because you know where your energy needs to go, where you know, because you're being spread very thin. Everyone needs you. Yeah. But where do I need to be at what time? Do I need to be? Yeah.
And being a manager helps you be a better server.
Do I need to be on the floor assisting tables? Nah, they got it. Do I need to be in expo expediting this food to make sure it gets out on time? Yeah. Do I need to be doing back doing dishes? Yeah. You know, it could be anything in this restaurant, anywhere there could be an issue or we used to call it something else. But anyway, I need to find out where that is and put myself there.
Well, I can catch stuff now because I used to be a manager where someone's food will take a long time to come out. And then maybe it takes too long and I'll be like, look, I got you guys on a cheesecake. Then I'll go up to my manager before they even tell me. I'm like, hey, I offered this table a free cheesecake. Their food's too long. Oh, yeah, that's not a problem. Boom, I beat it already to the punch. Yeah. Because that takes, what, 5-10 minutes to find a manager, ask them about it, see what the problem is. They check it. Bro, I already know this table's food is, I'm already with the solution. I already know that comes with what's going to happen with my management. What they're going to accept, what they're not. Like, I can't give you 2 free items, but I give you a free dessert.
But that comes with understanding and having a relationship with your manager because you already understand that, like, if I do, he's going to support me in my, he trusts me in my decision making. To make this call on the fly. Yeah. Because I've also seen like flip side where it's like, you know, people don't align with their problem solving things. Like, oh, you should always get me. And it's like, well, I can never find you, bro. Like
always. Yeah.
You know? So like, that's why I'm saying like having a good manager or management staff does play a big role in your success.
You gotta have good leadership skills just as a regular person.
Bro, like you said, running food and doing dishes, bro. I've only had a handful of managers that I've seen even do that.
I did everything.
I started off as a dishwasher,
I don't even know him,
bro.
And I can tell as a manager, he did everything.
Yeah. Bro, I started off as a dishwasher.
Bro.
Worked my way up, bro. So you just
gotta
humble
skills
yourself.
Like, I think like you if you've done everything and you've worked your way into that position, aside from someone who's just kind of just been a manager and then like just became a manager and never really been in the trenches like us, it's like you kind of maybe feel like, you know, oh, I'm too good to roll my sleeves up and get dirty in the dishes. Like, no, I'll do every damn thing, bro. I don't care. You know,
your team doesn't respect you if you don't.
100%.
Exactly. That's the thing too.
Yeah, bro. And you get promoted with you know, if you want to go that far, you get promoted too. Cheesecake offers, bro. I've seen lead servers move up to Expo, bump up to Expo to a manager, get changed to a new store, to open up a store, move up to executive, and motherfuckers been there 10 plus years. If that's something you want to do.
Yeah.
They recognize that, bro. And people talk. They'll be like, how do you feel about this person becoming a manager? Be like, oh, it's a great idea. You know what I mean? So it's different things like that. If you're willing to go that route, that goes with everything and anything that you do. You have to have that leadership skills. You have to have the ability to control the situation because you're in charge. Regardless of your managers being in charge, this is your table, this is your section, this is your side of the bar, this is your well, whatever it is, you are in charge. So if you can catch the things that are already about to happen, that's going to be a mistake 5 steps from now, you can beat it to the punch and avoid that mistake. And that right there just saved you about $50 right there. From a walkout, from a complaint. And a complaint, and just from whatever, because any position, the customer is always right. Until you walk back with your manager and you're like, yeah, I know you were right. But you know, but in the public eye, the customer is going to be right.
That was a big thing too. I was like, I was like, bro, like, I always try to radiate to my servers like, look, man, we just got to go to the table together and take this L. But we're not really taking the L. Like, you know, like, it don't matter.
Just gotta look stupid for 10 seconds, okay?
It's all a show. You out in front of them. But look, I got your
The worst part is in the beginning of taking that table, because afterwards you look stupid. You got to go back and finish the table. I love it when they're walking out and they want to talk.
It's all a show,
cool, whatever. You know, you just want. But I do get tables who just make up shit and cause problems for no reason to get free shit. Right. That's always gonna be a given.
I mean, bro, we had this one family when I was working at Spaghetti Factory. They used to come at least once a month.
Oh, they came often?
Yeah, bro. It was a family of 4. A mom,
Gypsies?
a dad. Nah.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
That's a different story. But nah, fucking.
Never mind.
But nah, like it was a mom, dad, a brother, and a sister, right? And every single time they come, a different member of the family would just have a problem with the service. And it was a trip because after the 3rd or 4th time, it's just like, the mom's energy was fucking out of pocket the last time they were here, but now she's the sweetest person, but now the son's fucking tripping. The next time the dad's tripping. You know what I mean? So it's crazy because it's like there are people that really go out there.
It's your turn to buy dinner. Go. Act stupid.
Act stupid, yeah.
But it's fucked up because then now it's just like you make a whole scene just to save fucking $90.
At that point, just walk out.
You know what I mean?
Master finesses,
yeah. But go back to the gypsy thing, bro, because these gypsies be a trip sometimes.
So man, I didn't know about them until I started working at restaurants, and you know, they're real, bro. They come in. They come in. They come in
not a figment of your imagination.
The crazy thing is, like, we did like they. The best part is that they came in right before we closed. But then there were the only tables, so I would get with my manager. I was a manager at the time, and we got together and like, okay, listen, we're gonna give them perfect everything. The moment they say shit about something, they're just fucking
it's false.
Like, they're fucking around. Like, and it's like. It got to the point where me as a manager, I was just like, you know what? Maybe you guys just shouldn't come back here anymore because I've noticed that you come back you've been here a few times and we're just not up to your standard.
Yeah.
And I apologize for that. However, you know, maybe this place just isn't for you anymore.
Yeah.
I'd like to uninvite you here.
Yeah.
So,
one thing that I hate about Cheesecake Factory on Santana Row, we have this often situation where this mom and dad drop off their kids in a van. They drop them off with a box full of candy. And they go inside the restaurant, walk around to each table and try to sell some candy to them. Every time my manager has to like kick them out because it's like they're every weekend, bro. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, they will drop them off, leave.
They go to the table and have
we're trying to do this. And it's like, you can't
do it here.
You're not doing that. You're not trying to.
But even if you were genuine, you can't.
Like you're not though.
You can't just pull up to the restaurant.
Well, it's in Santana Row. They definitely don't want that.
And on top of that, I see somebody on my table giving them $10 for some candy. In my head, I'm like, that was my $10 they were probably gonna give me.
Right?
So I go to that kid. I'm like, give me some candy. Nah. But literally,
like, I need 10%. I need 10%.
It's like people standing in front of Target, bro. Like there are some times where I've seen people like actually raise money for stuff, but we all know it's a scam. You're not about to stand outside. I'm trying to raise money for football, dog. It's January.
Like, bro, let me see a picture. Give me a team picture, yo.
Like come on, bro.
Let me pull up to one.
What high school you go to?
Let me pull up to one of them games. Like I'll support you that way.
Selling a bag of chips $3 for the mini bags. Come on, dude. Right. Like there's no way that you're trying to raise money for that. And I've seen the person who's dropping you off. You guys look like scammers. They did that at Big Al's. They do it all the time at all these different places, bro. You gotta.
And it's crazy because they really use the kids, bro, and it's fucked up. The kids don't know what the fuck they doing.
Well, yeah, but you know, most people, excuse me, can't say no to kids. So I bring that up because it goes back to gypsies. A lot of them stand outside of places with their kid in the hot sun.
Bro.
What the fuck? I'm hungry. My baby's starving. It's like, oh man, all right,
get this baby out the sun.
It was crazy because outside of Wagon one time there was this group of gypsies. They ended up coming through. And they end up getting this one dude coming out. They're like, yo, you think we can just get like $5 for some food? He's like, oh, I don't got any cash. They're like, it's okay, we got Venmo. Bro, this fucking daughter ends up pulling out her fucking iPhone 14. How you ask me
full circle?
Answer a few questions.
You know what I mean? And then on top of that, it was just I watched them get the $5 and then follow him around trying to get more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's one of those like
I seen someone work a whole parking lot, man.
That's
like
crazy.
It happens.
It work. I mean, they find some success. They get, they get some suckers sometimes.
It's the same ones with the gas. My car is out of gas at the gas station. Can I just get like, can you fill up my tank for like $20-$30, please? That's all I need.
Yeah.
Give them $20 worth of gas. They go to the next gas station. Try to get somebody else. Just keep it going, bro. Knowing damn well they got a bunch of money in their pocket. And we're in a world where people can scam. You got people faking shit on TikTok for memes, bro. Faking arguments, faking, forgive me, but domestic violence, people faking stuff for views. People faking getting jumped for being gay. Like, like there's so many people faking stuff out there because they can get you literally can get a paycheck for anything, a GoFundMe account. Like, and it takes away from the real people who really need it,
I guess
bro.
that's my only issue because it's like, okay, if you're gonna scam and you're gonna get suckers, that's fine with me. Whatever. Get the suckers. But it takes away from shit that is actually happening.
Yeah, you get scammed once, you think everything's a scam. Now you got somebody
and then
who really needs the money.
Now people are reluctant to give.
Scam. Yeah.
Like, because there's gonna be givers. A lot of us are givers, you know, by nature. But like, people are gonna get, fatigued or just cautious about who they give their money to, especially and even in the face of people that actually need it.
Yeah, because I mean, shit, bro, it's hard to separate it when you're like you said, once you've been scammed hella times. Your first instinct is, oh, this person's probably scamming. You know what I mean?
I ain't even been scammed all the times. I'm just really smart, and I just really reluctant about who I give my money to.
Yeah.
Just at a point now, I pretend to be on the phone when I'm walking into Target. I see somebody hanging outside. Hey, brother,
I just wear AirPods every time I shop. I just wear AirPods every time I shop.
I'm on the phone. Hey, I'm on the phone right now, bro.
Motherfuckers, Friday, bro. I just look pissed off. They like, we just gonna leave him alone. Walk up inside. For sure. Nice air condition up in this bitch. But nah, that's
I'm driving to the less ghetto Targets. I'll just drive a little farther.
Bro, it was even when I was going to 7-Eleven earlier, right? Fucking, I had to go pick up some, bro. I drove by the one in downtown. I just seen hella fucking heads just sitting outside. I'm like, I'm just gonna go to a different one,
every time, bro.
I don't feel like saying no to 15 people right now.
Hey, you got $1? Nah, the dude who just watched you say no was like, you sure you ain't got that $1? I'm sure.
Hey,
bro, honestly, I'm a bartender and stuff like that, but like, I try not to carry cash with me all the time.
Sure.
I go right to the bank with it.
Yeah, for sure.
I use Apple Pay a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't have the money down.
I'd be like, I'll buy you a snack. No, I want the cash. Yeah, because you want some methamphetamine.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't want no fucking food.
Yeah.
All right, bro.
Man, I was at McDonald's one time, bro. Like, some dude, and he genuinely, he was genuinely down on his, motherfucker had no shoes, whatever. He was like, hey, can you buy me something to eat? I'm in the drive. I'm like, yeah, man, I'll get something to eat, whatever. I'm like, what do you want? And he's like, yeah, let me get the number 3. But can I get a McFlurry? I'm like, yeah, man. Like M&M. I'm like, all right, well, if the ice cream machine don't work, what do you want? I'm like, all right, let me just get this fucking iced caramel latte, whatever. And I'm like, okay, bro. Not you with the iced caramel latte, bro. You don't got no shoes on, bro. Like, let me help you out there.
You need to stay up through the night.
Nah, it's crazy because I remember one time coming out again out of Spaghetti Factory, bro. There was a dude literally down on his luck, just laying on the, you know what I mean? Hey man, you got any money? I was like, nah, but I got this food, and I'd packed 2 big ass things. This dude opens his shit. He's like, I don't like mushrooms. I'm like, I just walked away because I'm mad because I gave you the bag. Your hands
and I'm not taking it back.
He's like, he picked through real quick. Oh, they got mushrooms.
You got something else, like, bruh.
What you mean?
Yeah.
What you mean?
Can't do it.
But yeah, man. Yeah, fool. I mean, I know you excited to get out of the industry soon. You know what I mean?
Bro.
You said 10, 12 years you've been in it. You feel me? You feel like you capped yourself out energetically in there?
Capped out a little bit. Just my career's over there. I feel like even then, because I stopped doing serving for maybe like a year or 2 when I got into the medical field. And then when I picked up the second job, I went right back to serving. It was like I didn't lose any kind of skill. First interview I walked into, I got the job immediately.
Yeah.
I was just like
we need
second nature.
help.
Yeah.
Can you start now?
Super second nature.
Every restaurant ever.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And it was just pretty smooth. But yeah, you know, I was doing full time, and then I went down to just the weekends, you know, slowly but surely coming out of it. But it's always for extra cash, not my career. Just, you know, it's just getting to the point too where it's just getting a little irritating. It's the same old thing over and over and over again. You get excited to get there, and it's like, all right, cool, make some money halfway through the shift. You're like, oh, here we go.
Yeah, right. Like,
Towards the end of the night,
it's
you're
like
closing, and it's just
trip,
back to
you're
back.
like, yeah, you pick up the shift. It's like,
Yeah.
I some extra money. It's
Smooth.
like, all right, who wants to go home? Like me.
Yeah.
Me right
Get me
now.
the fuck out of
All right,
here.
we're gonna cut. It's slow. Get me out of here.
Like, now I remember why I don't like to fucking work during the
get
week,
me
bro.
out of here. How am I
Like,
picking up shifts and asking me to get off?
do that
Yeah,
shit
asking to
all
get
the
cut
time,
first,
bro. Yeah.
That's me, bro. That's me. I always. I will
Yeah.
pick up a shift. I will need money for rent, for gas. Send me home.
I pick
Like
up
that.
all the doubles.
Send me home.
Yeah, I pick up all the doubles. I work as much as I can because it's just easy cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes you
extra
gotta, like-
100, 200 I'm going to get immediately off of one shift.
I never
Guaranteed.
regret staying.
Yeah.
Hey, what's y'all thoughts on? I mean, this is kind of like last thing I gotta ask. I don't know what else you got. But what's y'all thoughts on dating coworkers or fucking around with coworkers? Like shitting where you eat, pretty much. In the
Never a
restaurant
good
industry.
idea, bro.
I want to go into this topic deeply on another episode,
Yeah.
but we can touch on it a little bit. I have a. I'm a hypocrite, but I have a real strict rule. No, I have a real strict rule of not dating coworkers, but it's because I've done it so many times.
Yeah, you got to get there.
But I would advise against.
I've never dated a coworker.
Don't do it.
You fuck.
Don't even fuck them.
Okay,
No.
well, I'm on live.
Yeah.
Fuck? No.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, I would say don't fuck them or don't date them. For anyone who wants to listen, you'll be better off not doing that.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you will do it, but you're better off not.
And then you will learn why he's saying don't do it.
It's just bad taste for
Bad.
anything.
It's not
It's just
good, dude.
bad, you know? Like, you want to just work smooth.
You don't want
just
to show up
have
to work and
good
your
friends.
girls there.
Yeah.
Like
That's for any job. Like,
Yeah.
any job, bro.
like nah.
But I just feel like in the restaurant, it's just way more messier, bro. Because like the restaurant industry reminds me of fucking high school. It's like a sped up high school.
Okay,
You know what I
remember you work in the restaurant industry.
I mean, for sure,
You
bro.
fucking jock. What the fuck? Yeah, it's like high school. I feel popular finally. Like, what the fuck?
Nah, I'm just talking about when I say that, bro. I mean just like all the little petty drama.
It's definitely
all
messy.
that-
everyone's
There's
in
so much
everyone's
drama.
super
everyone's in
messy.
everyone's bit. Everyone knows everyone's
It's
business.
wild too because as you get older, clearly people get younger. So it's like I'm working with people who are like 18, 19,
Man,
20, 21.
that's the
I'm one
thing.
of the oldest people
That's the thing too. You become
who
an
works
old,
there.
You become an old head, and you're just like, you're just watching them like you just that old. Like you're
Yeah.
just like, man, like
You start to go home right after work. Everyone's like sitting there at the
You're like,
bar,
"We're going to the
waiting
bar."
to
Like,
go out. I'm
"I'm
like,
going home,
have
bro."
fun, guys.
Yeah, no.
Cool. They come in the next
Yeah.
day all hungover. I'm over here
Shit.
trying to make some money. Good morning.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go watch House of the Dragons. Good night.
Yeah,
You know, like,
bro.
fuck this shit.
Yeah, I'm
man.
over it, bro. So I'm gonna go save my money. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
go plan some trips. Like I'm about to take a weekend off. What you
Exactly.
doing? Oh, I gotta work. Half of them still live with their parents. You know, some of them
Yeah.
just got accepted into college. I'm like, damn, bro.
Yeah.
It's another thing for me too. Like, no disrespect to anybody who still works in the service industry who's older than a certain age, but my thing was like,
All of us.
I know, right? But I didn't want to be one of those people who was like, I used to have people who are like 56 going on 60.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some old, like
Yeah,
been
no,
been
heads.
at places for like 40, 50, like 40 years. They just know the ins and outs. It's just easy for them. It's like I can never do that only because like this is just a quick stop for me.
That's
Yeah.
and I think that's what kind of knowing that and knowing just what the future for serving held, and it's basically like, oh, do you want to? You're basically working to be a restaurant manager if you want to stay in this industry. Is why I kind of really pivoted and stuck with bartending
Yeah.
because I always felt like there's a lot of avenues that I can go as a bartender, whether that
100%.
whether that's working deeper in the industry for a brand, whether that's like maybe having my own bar,
Yeah.
or like any other type of entrepreneurship that revolves around like understanding the craft or understanding
the basics,
how numbers are ran and how business is ran in that regard. That I felt like serving really, it's really just about it's serving. It's like providing this experience, and there's like the only route that I see is pretty much deeper into a company or deeper into like being a regional manager of.
I mean, there's a
something like
cap
that.
as a server, bro, because there's a huge difference between a 50-year-old server and a 50-year-old
Because what's the
bartender.
skill of a
Yeah,
You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
one's
'cause that-
miserable, the other one's cool. Like I
Literally.
can tell you that right now. I see people come in like, oh, just another shift. Bartender's always gonna be in a good mood.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
true. And people are like, I don't know. It's just a certain like type of respect you get when you go places like, oh, you're a bartender, you know something. Oh, you're a server.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not eating right now, so
yeah, but you also know like
what can you do for me?
You can make me a bunch of drinks off the top of the head.
What are you doing?
You could just tell me everything I just read on the menu.
Yeah, you're a good host at your house, like you know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true because it's like the older you get as a bartender, you gain more knowledge and experience that you can apply.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Applicable knowledge.
Yeah, as a server, it's like there's a point where it's like you've learned every skill possible.
Yeah, so you're just the best server now.
Yeah, you're dope.
You shaved off 30 seconds off your time.
Yeah, exactly.
You drop off that bread real fast.
You're so exactly. You're just memorizing orders without writing them down.
No notebook. Damn.
You just reached the fucking god level of fucking serving. Like, you know.
And in regards to all that, ultimately say never date a coworker wherever you're at. And that came with age. I never tried it because I always...
You never did it, huh?
Never did it only because like one girl would be talking to me and be like, yeah, I think you're really cute. And then the next, someone else is next to her at the next shift. Wow, you're really cute. Okay, damn. So it's whoever's right next to you. Okay, cool.
No.
And then you realize whoever's got drugs. Oh, you got a bottle in your trunk? I love you tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like Jameson. Fuck you. Where's your homie? He's got tequila. Like, oh, my bad.
Bro,
okay. Didn't know you're that kind of girl.
So you've seen that, but I've experienced it on the other end on all ends of just being involved with people, being the other guy, being the guy, you know.
They always got a boyfriend at home.
Yeah.
Like, I always would feel bad. Like, this girl's hella flirting with me. And she's like, oh, shit. My boyfriend's at table 2. Just keep it cool. Keep it cool, bitch. You the one doing it to me.
Not you, her work husband, bro.
What the fuck?
And then she's over here flirting for fries in the kitchen.
Yeah. So I could never. And the worst part is,
watch out for the cooks, man.
And on the other side of the spectrum, I could never be at home while my girlfriend is working a serving shift.
No.
Because I already know.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because but also like, you know, I've dated bartenders. I honestly prefer to date bartenders personally, not at my bar, but just personally. And I'm currently
You're not welcome.
And I'm currently dating a bartender.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's different and it helps a lot. And we'll dive more into this on another episode. Dating someone who just understands this lifestyle.
Facts.
That goes for anything too.
But I won't go too deep into that because I want to have a whole episode about
it.
About the dating lifestyles that we have as bartenders.
Yeah.
And how we maintain these relationships with our friends and our, loving.
And if you have a dating life as a bartender.
Right.
Some people can't get any.
Yeah.
Ronnie, yo. No, I'm just playing.
Ronnie, yo.
Hey, man, I really just be chilling, bro.
Everybody say Ronnie, yo.
Say Ronnie, yo.
Fuck y'all, we not better say But yeah, man. Hey, bro, good podcast. Appreciate you pulling up.
Yeah.
Pulling up, yeah.
Me or him?
Guys, he used me as a last minute
go ahead and
guest.
see your way out.
You know what I mean?
Go to your
See
room
me
now,
as the fuck. See, you used me as a last minute guest. It's all good. It's all love. It's always been love. It'll always be. I don't know why I repeat that like 6 times.
I don't know why.
It'll always be love.
Do you like?
All right, guys. So thank you so much. If you could just take a look at this screen and just give me a 15, 18, or 20%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just gonna ask you a few questions right there.
How was my podcasting skills?
Go ahead, hit 25%. Drop this and give it back. Okay,
man, bro. Shit. Last thing, you got anything to promote?
Yeah.
It's gonna come out in August, by the way.
Okay. Well, shout out to everybody. I just turned 30 on August 8th.
Hey.
Shout out to you guys. So it was a great birthday.
Well,
Sure, it will be one. Yeah.
Happy birthday, bro.
Happy birthday.
On top of that, check out Master Time. It came out on July 27th. I hope you guys checked out the video that I dropped for Head High. It's going to be dope, guys. Let me know what you guys think of it.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you coming on, my guy. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, guys.
Always a pleasure.
Another good one.
Hope we see you.
Oh, you left him hanging, bro.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Hey. I'm like, yeah. So,
This is what happens when you don't leave with 50%.
come on, someone really more.
Straight up. But yeah, man, you got anything else you want to say?
August. Nah.
August.
But I got some stuff coming up soon. More trips and stuff like that. I got into Tiki by the Sea.
Oh shit, what's that?
So basically, that's it's just like a 3-day boot camp out in the Jersey Shore. We're gonna be learning about tiki cocktails, rum specs, tiki culture, and things like that. We're gonna have some guest speakers that are heavy in the industry and stuff like that. Shout out to my boy Sam Wilson, Sam Miller out in Salt Lake City. He's gonna be there as a guest speaker. And yeah, it's gonna be hella tight. And then I'm gonna do a couple of days in New York City after that. So it should be cool. I should have a lot to talk about on the next on one of these episodes coming out about that. But yeah, that's what I got going on. And then Portland in October. So
Portland Cocktail World.
Yeah, you trying to come?
Yeah.
Student apps are. Oh, have you applied or no?
No, I haven't. So I guess
get that shit done. I'm gonna be on you now. So you gotta go.
No, I got you. Yeah. Right. I'm gonna knock that shit out.
Hell yeah.
Well, shit, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We appreciate y'all already fucking with the, you know what I mean, the early stages of this podcast. You know what I mean? We appreciate y'all. Until next time, it's your boy Ronnie.
Joe Weezy.